Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new. In today's video, I have a very intricate, deep video that I want to share with you guys. These are the 4 stages of a relationship, and if you can harness this and realize which one you're in, and if it's struggling, you can really change it to benefit you. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the seasons of a relationship. Now, this could be romantic relationship. This could be relationship with your mother, father, best friend, boss, co-worker. It could be a relationship with anybody because every relationship goes through phases. So we're going to be talking about 4 stages of this relationship, and potentially even if one of those stages, if you are in one of those stages and it's not working out or something like that, you can change it. And here is how. Okay, so the first stage, of course, is that exciting stage, that honeymoon phase, that spontaneous energy. You're just excited to meet that person, talk to that person, right? Whoever it may be, you click, and it's fun, and the conversations are valuable, and you enjoy that time that you spent with that person. Right now, this is called the fire stage. This is called the summer season of that relationship. And this is fun. That's a fun stage. It's an exciting stage because you don't know each other's flaws just yet. You don't know what will irritate you about that person, and you don't know what will irritate that person of what your personality traits are just yet, right? So everything is just like based off first impressions, honeymoon, fun, exciting, right? And it's passionate. There's a lot of passion in that beginning stage of any relationship. Even when you may meet a friend for the first time and you guys become friends, it's that passion that draws you guys in closer and you click. Because otherwise you won't. If it doesn't click, then there will be no relationship, right? So keep that in mind. That's the summer phase. That's the fire phase. Then we get into the second stage of the relationship, which is a quieter period. And when I'm looking down, I did take notes, and keep an eye out because I am coming out with a book with all of this information in there. That's coming soon, hopefully by the end of the year. But if you guys do want, I do have a book on Amazon right now, 30 Ways to Manifest, and that's on Amazon. It's linked down below, but keep an eye out for this next book that I'm about to write. The next stage is a very quieter period. You go a little deeper into that relationship, whatever that relationship may be, right? This is called the autumn phase. This is the element that goes with this phase of the relationship is metal. It becomes a little stronger, okay? And the excitement will decrease. That is normal in any relationship, okay? And the initial butterfly feeling, the Hanuman, which, by the way, if you guys have not heard that song by Hanuman Kind, it's called Big Dogs. It's a really good song. But the initial butterfly stage will go away because there's something more meaningful coming in. You know, butterfly stage is exciting, but when the excitement kind of goes away in any type of relationship, there's something deeper that comes in. There's something more meaningful. There's more value. It's kind of like the layers of the onion, right? You gotta peel it down and you get more deeper in there. Just like if you cut a papaya, you cut in the middle and there's seeds in the middle, but not everybody gets into the seeds of the relationship. You get into the sweetness, you go through the skin, but you don't get into that seeds. And what do we do with seeds? You plant it and you grow more. But not a lot of people can get into that phase of a relationship where you can get to the seed and plant more and grow it more sturdy and make the roots more stronger, right? So this is the second stage. And a lot of people get scared at this stage of a relationship because it gets quote unquote boring, because the excitement goes away and people get scared, like, oh no, like, you know, it's not as exciting, it's not as fun. Maybe the conversations are not like it used to be anymore, because now when you get into deeper conversations with anyone, everybody has different thoughts and opinions and beliefs and experiences. Everybody has been through different experiences in their life. So when you start to learn about their experiences, their secrets, their thoughts and opinions about even like politics, right? Take that. If it's not in congruence with you, there could be conflict, right? So this is a stage where you kind of get to know that person deeper in that way. And sometimes people find it boring or find it offensive because you don't agree on the same things when it does get that deep, right? Another thing is, a lot of people in this stage of the relationship start to feel like the passion or the fun or the excitement of that fire and summer energy, the honeymoon phase of the relationship, is dwindling. But this is normal, and this is actually a stage of a healthy relationship. That energy, that fire will dwindle just because you have to go deeper in, right? And if it doesn't, then this relationship is really not worth it if you can't go deeper in, okay? Realize that fire season, that summer season, was just a season, but we can get it back. Like, don't get that twisted. We can get that back, but we have to flow through all the seasons. Like in the winter time, we're not going to have summertime. In the winter time, we're not going to have the sun out and plants and birds chirping and like everything we love about summer. We can go in the water and everything like that. We're not going to have that in the winter time. And in the winter time, you know, we're not going to have what we have in the summertime. In the summertime, we're not going to have what we have in the wintertime. Wintertime, we have the fireplace, the s'mores. We have cozy warmth and families gathering inside the house, right? Like it's different seasons, just like in our relationships. So that's the second stage. Now the third stage is the comfort stage. And this has to do a lot with water element, where we kind of just start flowing. And it's also the winter stage, where we realize what is comfort. Because in wintertime, we just want to be comfortable. We want to be warm, comfortable, cozy, right? And this is a stage of a relationship too, where in the wintertime, in the winter stage of the relationship, we want to be comfortable and cozy with that person, okay? This is a stage where you can sit in a room or anywhere with that person, and for a long while, you both don't have to say a word to each other, but you feel comfort in the presence of each other. So you could both be sitting in the same room and doing different things, different activities, but just the fact that both of you are in the presence of each other and that each other's presence is comforting, and that both of you can do that, two different activities, and still sit in the same room together and not fight and not get into quarrel and not judge each other based off those other activities. That is a comfort phase. That's the winter phase. And there's a lot of relationships that don't make it to that phase. And there is also a lot of relationships that make it to that phase, and then you get irritated, like, oh, you're just being lazy, you're just sitting there, or oh, you're cleaning too much. But for some people, being like just sitting on the couch for a little bit, doing something, listening to music might be comforting to them. And for some people, it could be cleaning for them is comforting. But both of you guys are in the same vicinity, in each other's presence, it can be comforting, right? So, but a lot of people don't allow our relationships to go there because we start judging, we start criticizing, right? So we need to understand who in our life is worthy of just what I love to do, I want to do, what you love to do, you do, what relaxes you, you do, what relaxes me, I'll do, and we'll be okay just because we have the presence of each other. So that is our winter phase of a relationship. Now, if you can get to the winter phase, that's a pretty strong, sturdy relationship. Okay? So even in silence, you appreciate each other's energy. Just the fact that your presence is there with each other. That is a very winter phase in a relationship. And that's a signal and a sign that the relationship is becoming stronger. Okay? Now we have the fourth stage, which is stability. That stable stage of the relationship where you surpass, and by this stage you will have went through hardships, you will have went through whatever you went through, and that's normal and that's okay. But the thing is that you surpassed it and you went through it, and now in this stable phase you're just like, we went through this and we are good, we're stable, like building a stable foundation for building your house on top of it, right? If you're building a house, you want that foundation to be safe, secure, stable, right? You're gonna have to check everything. I don't know what goes into building the house foundation, like plumbing and the wood foundation, everything. And so these 3 seasons are what help build that foundation. And if you can get there, then you have this solid foundation where you can build on top of that. And it's sturdy and it's strong, and third person cannot come into it. Third party cannot come into it. Insecure thoughts, they will be there. They'll always be there. That's normal for a human being. But they won't ruin that stability. They won't affect that foundation. Trials and tribulations and challenges come in life. You could lose your house, you could lose your car, you could get sick, right? But because you have that foundation, because you went through those first 3 stages in that relationship, this relationship will not break. Okay? This is the element of this relationship is wood. And if you look at it in seasons, this is the spring season, because now the foundation is built. Things are going to bloom, things are going to grow, things are going to prosper in this stage of the relationship. But a lot of people can't get to this stage because of the first 3 stages. Okay? Now, this is the stage where a relationship gets revived. Just like in nature, when a tree loses its leaves, right? But then, after winter time, what happens? Those leaves come back, fresher and greener and plumper and more beautiful, right? These are also stages of the relationship, but we don't allow ourselves to get there because the hard parts make us distance, make our insecurities get the best of us, make our fears get the best of us. It makes us past trauma too. There's something I saw the other day. Somebody said something very interesting. Now, I grew up in the 90s. So there's a lot of words that we used and terminology that we used to use in the 90s that now we cannot say those words and we cannot use those terminologies. But I grew up with it. And there is something that, I don't want to say it because you can't say it on YouTube. But just rising back up. after a period of dead time, rising back up after some of your leaves fall. And that's normal. Imagine a whole 365 days of the year. How many things do you go through? How many things do you experience? How many things do you feel? How many things do you learn and grow? And some people don't. Some people don't grow. Some people don't learn. Some people just isolate. Some people cave in and they'll walk away. They'll distance, right? But that's not fair to anyone. Go, like, take the risk. Go. I would say move forward with any relationship. Move forward. Go. Experience it. It's like experiencing a new food. You don't know if you're going to like it or not. If you don't like it, don't go back to it. But if you like it, it could be life-changing. Okay? But we can't get to that phase unless we go through the first 3 phases, which means we, like, say we want to try a brand, like, say you never tried a mango before, right? And then now you're like, I want to try a mango. You're going to have to wait until the mango is grown in the tree, and then the farmers take it to the grocery store or the restaurant, and it's ripe, or however they cook it, however you want to eat it, and then you try the mango. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you like it. But you have to know the process of how that mango came to be, which is like our relationships. We need to know the process of how this relationship will come to be. Then we make the decision, do we want this or not? Is it fruitful or not? Is it draining? Is it nasty? Is it fruitful? Is it delicious? Right? You won't know unless you go through those phases and try it. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is sometimes relationships can get stuck in one phase. Sometimes a relationship can get stuck in that fiery honeymoon phase. And then those two people in that relationship are going to be like, oh, this is too fiery. And fiery could mean that it's so passionate, it could burn you out and drain you. Or fiery could also mean, these are the negative aspects. Fiery could also mean that you fight too much. There's too much tension and quarrels and arguments, and so fiery can have those two sides. So if you're stuck in the fiery side, then know that you're gonna have to calm that down with some sort of water energy, the winter energy, which means understanding and listening, and I could go into a video deeper into this, but if you're stuck in the fire stage, it's going to burn the relationship out, or you're going to get drained, or fight too much, okay? Now, if you are too much in the third stage, which is the comfort stage, which is the winter stage, where you're, what I was talking about, like if you can sit with that person and just be comfortable in silence, which is a beautiful thing. But for some people, and depends on how people are, some people need mental stimulation, physical stimulation, verbal stimulation, right? And if you're stuck in that stage, then the relationship will become boring. And that's where a lot of people, I feel like, start cheating, where they're like, it's boring, because you're not understanding why it's boring. It's boring because it's comfortable, which is what everybody wants in a relationship in the first place, but also like you're just like, oh, they're not paying enough attention to me. Not maybe realizing maybe they're not paying enough attention to you because they love you so much that they don't feel the need to validate that love to you enough. Or it could be that they just really just are bored. It could go both ways. We're going to talk about both ways. So that is where you can get stuck in that winter stage of the relationship, in the comfort stage where it can get boring. And there's several ways where a relationship can get boring, and it depends on the person too, right? So those are a few things I wanted to talk about. That is the end of my notes. That is going to be the end of the video. I think this is a long video, but I wanted to talk about all this. I thought it was very fascinating, and I think that it's very interesting and very beneficial and helpful for anybody that's in a relationship. It doesn't matter, romantic or anything. These are stages of any relationship. So leave me a comment down below of a relationship that you are very fond of and that you value, and potentially what stage do you think that that relationship is in right now. And I'll respond and tell you, you know, if it's struggling, then what you need to do, what other element you need to bring into that relationship. And I think it would be fun, and I think it would be a learning thing, and I'm very curious. So I'll see you guys on my other platforms, Patreon, Amazon, Etsy shop, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.